Go ahead, baby.
If we're talking about having that together, you can go down. Look, if I had a child and I get a birth certificate, and my last name is, let's say, Johnson, and the father of my child last name is, let's say, Peters. I don't have to put Johnson on a certificate if we're not married. I can just put Peters.
Yeah.
I can say Peters. I can go to anywhere and have my last name changed to Mikael's last name, and that would make me married. Legality doesn't make you married. What makes you married is what the Father has put together.
There you go.
That's what makes you married. When you know that the Father has put it together, if you want to have a ceremony, have a ceremony.
That's your choice.
That's your choice. If you don't want to have a ceremony, you don't have to. And people have we have been trained and taught that we have to say that we're married. Oh, well, it's not right in the eyes of the Lord. You're going to go to hell. Where does that say?
Exactly.
Where does it say that in the commandments that you're going to go to hell?
In the law. See, number one is one thing that a lot of people go through. Y'all go by the precepts of men. A lot of people don't understand when it said, thus says the Lord, or when the voice of the Father spoke in the beginning of the book, from Genesis to Deuteronomy. When you start studying there and start seeing what the Father said at that time, because he don't change from his word. So by him not changing from his word, he go through the prophets and try to tell them, for the ones who is disobedient to his word, in order to tell them what he's going to do, why he's going to do it. He don't say why. He may just tell you what's going to happen and when it's going to happen. A lot of time he does that is because people are living in ignorance because they think what they're doing is right. But if you don't follow the words according to scripture and prophecy, you don't know. So a lot of stuff that Paul said. Now, tell me something that you have gotten from your pastor at the time. You had brought it up yesterday. And I said, don't say it like that in the book. But I understand what you're saying when it's about burning. Come on, I brought that up.
Yeah,
and I'm going to show y'all what it says here according to scripture.
It's better to marry than to burn with passion. But that's not something that the Father said. That is Paul's suggestion. That is something that he said. He said, I'd rather you marry. He said, I'd rather you marry. And that's right. What most people say. You ought to get married so that, but a lot of times with today's thing, women marry men that they deem to be successful. Not all women, please don't get it twisted. Not all women, because most women marry because they're in love with their spouses. And that they want to build with their spouses, and marriage in any form is work if you're serious.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, a lot of people are marrying. Marriage is a business for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So if I marry someone that's wealthy and we get a divorce, paper. That's why people sign. What is those?
Prenuptial agreements.
Prenuptial agreements. Things like that.
That's
if you don't sign prenuptial agreements, this woman could walk off, or this man could walk off, because it's the same. They could walk off with half, if not most of your possessions,
earnings. Yeah,
your
exactly.
earnings.
Come in. A lot of people do that nowadays. They see somebody got some funds or some money. They'll try to get with them just so they can get a piece of that pie when they leave.
That's why we pertain that to the system being a part of that, because anytime you have a marriage, you got to go to the law to get things dissolved.
In this system.
In this system. You have to go. So you're paying thousands of dollars sometimes out of pocket to keep a person from taking everything that you worked for, or half of what you worked for, when they came in with hardly anything on the table, and they walk out with mostly everything off the table. So you have to look at it as a point in fact that people have to understand that common law and the law of the land is what the father was dealing with.
Yeah.
Maritime law is what all this marriage and they didn't have marriage licenses and people
back in
the day when a man was honorable and a woman was honorable and they joined themselves together. There's no law in between that.
Right.
Nobody can go. We can't go to the courts and say I want her money, I want his money because I'm mad she walked off. I'm mad he walked off. I'm mad he left. It could have been a reason why he left, or it could have been a reason why she left. But I'm mad. So I want to divorce and I want to take half her money, half her belongings. And it's not right. So not to say that people don't want to get married because you just afraid to commit. No, that's not it. You don't have to go to the system and say, look, I want to marry her. I'm going to give you these X amount of dollars. Can I marry her? That's the same thing in the Bible.
And not only that, it's a lot of people that's coming over here from across seas that's getting married to our women so the women can get paid.
For citizenship.
For citizenship. About a business. And what hit me right quick is something my baby was just saying. Look at the movie Liar, Liar. When it comes to when it comes to the funds and this guy, he wanted his children. I just saw it a few days ago too. This portion just hit my mind. Look at Liar, Liar and see how this guy, he was good with his children and all she wanted was more money from him. All she wanted was the money, and that's all this word. That's the reason why I said mammon. People are the love of the root to all. The love of money is the root to all evil. Not money itself, but the love of it.
Yeah, the love of the money.
Is the root to all evil. Mm-hmm. But money does answer for all things.
It does.
Oh, I try to say a lot of things, but a lot wouldn't be you. In that place, all was in the place of what it should be in a lot of things. Mm-hmm. But I want to give y'all Genesis chapter 2.
Can I make one more second?
Go ahead, baby.
Okay.
Come on.
So even with that, I just wanted to say if the man and the woman are honorable and their intentions are to build together and work together and be together, if that is a concern, that if something should happen to your woman or your man or your husband or your wife, you do certain things to prevent certain measures from happening.
Right.
You don't have to go before a court and say this is what I want to do, because you could still have a ceremony. Anybody can have a ceremony.
Right.
But the thing I'm saying is that there's other ways outside of marriage that you can say, well, because a lot of people say, well, if something happens, that's the first thing they say. Okay, well, tell me why should I get married? Well, you'll go to hell if you're fornicating. Fornication is when you are sleeping with thousands of people.
Well, a lot of people.
Just back and forth.
Which is nothing but idolatry. Fornication is nothing but a sex god.
Yeah.
You're fornicating. If you look, the only time you see fornicating in the Old Testament, you'll see it when someone is actually worshiping another god. Mm-hmm. So then in the New Testament, they talk about fornication. Fornication is only when you use sex, just like porno. Porno is nothing but sex addiction, which is you having sex with many different people. You've turned sex into a god. Mm-hmm. Some people you gotta run up in something. You gotta get it, but with different people. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes I'm just animated, y'all.
Right, very animated. But what I'm saying is there are documents that you can draw up to say that you want this amount to go to this person. Because I've seen people that have been in lifelong relationships.
You can make wills.
You can make all
kind of documents to do things, but you don't have to go to a system to put yourself under a system to say that you two can come together.
Right.
Matter of fact,
in order for me to leave him, I got to pay thousands of dollars.
Exactly.
And
to
pray
who?
That,
but to
who?
Exactly.
He don't walk off with everything that we built.
Exactly.
So we do those type of things in a way, but don't shun people because you say, oh, they're shacking up, they're living together, they're shacking up. No, it's not a shack up. How is it a shack up? Yes, we are living together. Married people live together.
Yeah.
They shack too. But the only thing it has a title on it.
Yeah. That's all it is.
With a ring on the finger.
And that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
The symbolism. Why do we have the symbolism of a ring and a finger?
Okay, really.
The ring and the finger. We got grown-ups here. Ring and the... Wait, that's the finger. The ring and the finger. What's that the symbolism of? See what I'm saying? So you put a ring on the finger. There's a lot of people take the ring off the finger. So you got a ring over here, you got a finger over here, if you know what I'm talking about.
Okay. Yeah.
If the ring ain't on the finger, how can they know? So they can always take the finger off. I mean the finger off. The ring or however you want to put it.
Yeah, but when you
so that's just a symbolism of showing that they're supposed to be married. But everybody in the world don't do that. So you got some people that put a dollar on their head showing that they're married.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the whole thing is that this, and actually I have information, you know, I have a lot of documentaries. Actually the Moors, they came, from what I remember in the documentary, the Caucasians came up with marriage because the Moors was marrying a lot of Caucasians back in the day over you remember seeing that?
I remember seeing that.
Over in Europe. I'm just gonna say Europe. I don't gonna say French. I don't remember exactly where, but I'm just in their place. They was over there. They came up with marriage to slow down the mixed marriages.
You had to have, if you were mixed, in the reading that I saw, what I read in my research, if you were a mixed race, in order for you to marry, to be together, you had to have what they call a marriage license.
That's where it started at.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden it caught on. Then the business starts up. No different. Now I'm gonna give you a quick example. No different. Like if you're from Detroit, if you're in the South, even if you in the South, if you was out there cutting grass, mowing lawns, shoveling snow. When we was young coming up, we made money like that. But what did the system do? It came, now you got to have a contract license to go out here and cut grass. You have a contract to go out here and sell lemonade on the streets. You have a license to do everything. The system is wicked. Mm. It take everything that we have done to make something out of, and it just want a piece of the money, piece of the pie. And you the one who come up with your idea of doing what it is. So we got to wake up. You know what I'm saying? You want to say something about that?
No, I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah.
You positive?
No, I'm positive.
Now, what I want to show y'all with marriage, this Genesis chapter 2, verse 23 and 24, I ain't going to go up, I ain't going to go no lower. I'm just going to give you those two verses to let you understand what a wife is. Or when it comes to for a woman to become a wife, or a man and woman to become married. And Adam said, "This is now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and mother and shall cleave unto his wife." You see that?
And they shall be one flesh.
Exactly. I just want to make sure they understood what wife is first. Yes. I just want to make sure they got that. I'll give them the rest of it. Verse 24, matter of fact, I finished the rest of them. And they shall be one flesh. How do they become one flesh? It's because when they come into each other, or how they come together, they have children. That child shall be one of them. Mm-hmm. That's both of them coming together. But also in the commandments, if you notice, it says, 6 days y'all labor and do all thy work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest, holy unto the Father. In it thou should not do any work. Thou nor thy son. It didn't say thou nor thy wife, because the man and the wife is one. Thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. It never said male and female, man and woman. It only said thou nor thy son. No different than right here. And I'm going to read it again so y'all have a better understanding. Genesis chapter 2, verse 23 and 24. And Adam said, "This is now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife." That's when she becomes his wife, when they come together. And then it says, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Come on, baby. What you
Okay.
showing me?
So read 21.
She want me to come to 21. So I'm going to go back up to 21 because she wanted me to.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to make sure that I got that plain as day. But I'm going up to 21.
Everybody
Chapter
knows
2,
that's
verse 21. In the as Genesis, chapter 2, verse 21. And our Father caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took, man, that sounds like what we're coming out of right now. If you think about it, we're coming out of, man, boy, thank you for the revelation. Thank you, baby. Think about what that just said. And our Father caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. Now, just to share with you real quick for what I got from this, just that moment. Hold on.